Hi, I'm Leon Lovelace, and this is Unstoppable Force. I got a news story for you, and it's from Reuters. It's about how Ecuador's new president isn't quite the fan of Julian Assange. Okay, Ecuador's new leftist president, Moreno, said on Monday, Julian Assange is a hacker, making his strongest comments to date against the WikiLeaks founder, while still stressing he could stay in the country's London embassy. Moreno, who was sworn in earlier this month, has broken with his predecessor and mentor Rafael Correa, who said Assange was a journalist and granted him asylum in London in 2012 to avoid extradition to Sweden over rape allegations. During the campaign, Moreno had already taken a tougher stance on Assange, warning him not to intervene in the politics of countries friendly to Ecuador. So that's already a problem. Because even though he didn't have the power yet to really impose any restrictions on Julian Assange, he had the potential to, influence him because, he had 50-50 shot to win it. Now that he is in power, he does have the authority to say, you know what, you intervene with the politics of the nations that are friendly with me, so I'm going to place restrictions on you. I'm going to, arrest you, place fines or charges, or try to block the information you're sending out to our nation. So just the government trying to restrict any journalists producing or publishing information is really problematic, because we got to make sure that we're getting truthful information and not just propaganda that the government wants. Because he said Mr. Assange is a hacker. That's something we reject, and I personally reject. Of course, then a little bit later, he tries to gaslight everybody and says, but I respect the situation he's in, which calls for respect of his human rights. But we also ask that he respects the situation he's in. So he's trying to say, oh yeah, I'm for him, even though I'm going to threaten him about if he exposes any information for any of my friendly neighbors. So we don't like that shit. So we really got to fight against that. And this is also really important because his predecessor, Rafael Correa, he also imposed some restrictions on the private media. What happened was that the former president, Rafael Correa, he passed some laws that allowed him to charge the media companies for putting out certain information he didn't like. And also says they also allowed him to punish media companies for not putting out any information. So it's here in The Guardian that the communication law has allowed the government to strongly influence the media. We have noted an increase in censorship. Editorial decisions are no longer being made by journalists, but by teams of lawyers. The worst effect is that the traditional media has stopped investigating corruption because they could be punished. So that's how that government was stripping away some of their democracy, is making sure that the media wouldn't investigate any corruption. And that just makes it harder for the people to oust the corrupt leader, or to throw any the president or any of his officials in jail for any extremely horrendous wrongdoings they do.